You have to have the growth mentality even on the cut. Welcome back, YouTube. Today we got a push day, a lot of chest, a little bit of shoulders, a little bit of triceps, and yeah, just kind of emphasizing pausing at the top, pausing at the bottom, and just stretching as much as we possibly can. Feeling good today. So we'll see how it goes. You have to have the growth mentality even on the cut. Okay, we'll drop it down. Starting on this versus starting on the cable flies, a little more fresh. Let's fucking go. Yeah, so chest press here. The machine chest press, like I always say, is more about high force. So just try to move as much weight as we can, but keep it nice and clean. Big thing, probably also kind of controversial because people always talk about it with powerlifting in terms of like arching the chest, and should bodybuilders do it, you know, minimizing range of motion, things like that. But in reality, you should arch the chest a little bit, pull your shoulders back, retract your shoulders some, focus on really pulling the shoulders back so they can stabilize the movement, but not so much of an arch from like your rib cage. It's more of just like a little bit of a chest elevation to make sure that you're pushing through the most lengthened and short position of the pec the entire time. Another big thing, it's kind of more of just conceptual intention, but making sure when you're pressing, not thinking about just like finishing your arms all the way out, but actually feeling like you're pushing your chest forward, like contracting the pec through the press. Yeah, I think I saw Nick Walker talking about that yesterday, and that guy is fucking huge. But yeah, hard to kind of conceptualize. You just got to kind of play with it some. Don't worry so much about your hands getting to the finishing position, because then you're really going to start pushing through that tricep. Think about pulling your chest together in that initial phase. So you're pushing, 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 and squeezing the pec. So now we'll hit a drop set here. Try and just pump it out, but still emphasizing stretching in both positions. Just get a lot of blood flow and stimulus into the pecs. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna move on, hit some cable flies, kind of Joe Bennett style. So we'll end up doing flies, flies, flies as much as we can. And then as soon as we fail there, just switch back into a fly or a cable press. So it'll be fun. Yeah, so you would think you'd be able to get more presses after all those flies, but you know, you get pretty burnt out, pretty tired pretty quick. So just trying to take advantage of a little bit better leveraged position so we can keep a little bit of a stretch dynamic going on after you fail with the fly. Big difficult thing though is not being able to push all the way as you're already so tired and fatigued. Oh, really? Oh, because you're doing abs before. Yeah, we'll get one more set there and then move on to dips. That view. They're not pretty. Not pretty, but effective. Some type of way. Recognize music anymore. You talking about the Spirit Halloween store? Yeah. It was a crunch, then it was a Spirit, and then I think it's going to turn back into a crunch. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a crunch again, yeah. Moving on now, chest is done, hitting shoulders until we get some triceps in. So keeping it pretty simple, keeping it pretty basic, just a lot of lateral raises. And then yeah, triceps. Yeah, on this one, just trying to maintain constant tension, so going down as low as we can, and then really just going to about parallel, slightly maybe higher than parallel, just to keep all that tension in the delt, not start shrugging, you know, so. Okay, so we're gonna do a triple drop set here. Just same weight as before for the 2 sets, and then just drop a plate each time until we can't move the weight anymore. Okay. About 20 seconds between. One more. One more. Too light. Beat it up. It's a pretty hard ab exercise too. Oh yeah, keeping it old school, just regular old classic push downs. Ouch. Go a little lighter for 2 more sets. Ooh. Triceps are burning, but luckily I'm able to use my forehead to spot me a little bit. I've seen some videos of Dorian Yates kind of talking about like when doing tricep press downs, keeping the cable as close to you as possible. And so keeping a lot of that tension like all in that tricep, as opposed to you get it away from you. Sometimes it's just going to be a lot more contribution of other muscles and just body weight too. Really, no secret behind it. All you're doing is you're maximizing the amount of elbow flexion to elbow extension. So you're minimizing how much the shoulder can get engaged. It's all, for the most part, tricep. Okay, you know the drill. 1, 2, and 3. Good little push day today. Chest feeling good, shoulders feeling good, triceps feeling really good. So can't really complain. Pumps have been a little off. But what I realized was it's just kind of meal timing more so. So typically, you know, I wake up like 4:45, breakfast around 5, walk my dog, train people, and then work out closer to like lunchtime, AKA like noon. But really just having that one meal in me prior to training, it's been kind of problematic. So pumps have been a little bit off. What I did today, which I'm gonna start kind of implementing more, is making sure I get in another meal about an hour or so before training, just to make sure I'm spacing food out appropriately. Otherwise, I train until, you know, maybe 1, 2 o'clock, and then I'm eating like 4 meals for the rest of the day instead of, you know, spacing it out, having 2 before training, 3 after training, or vice versa. So big difference with that today. Everything's feeling really good. Pumps are feeling strong, back to normal. So again, just kind of something to think about if you're not feeling a whole lot of pumps during your cut or your bulk. Maybe just play with your nutrient timing some. But yeah, started off with some pressing work, kind of playing with the order of that as well. So hitting a lot of my compound presses before I get into the isolation, more like fly work, just because I feel the flies are really good at activating, but I don't really feel like I'm getting as much stimulus out of them by kind of warming up with them, as opposed to starting off warming up with compound movements and then finishing with more isolation movements like the fly. Did a little Joe Bennett hypertrophy coach finisher with the chest today, so that fly motion, and then immediately going into a press motion. I really like that, going to incorporate that a lot more, just especially as some of the fatigue tends to accumulate during the cut, less calories, things like that. So using some ways to keep the intensity high and the risk of injury really low, and being able to keep that intensity, again, just where it needs to be for us to maintain muscle mass through this cut cycle. So after that, we got into some lateral raises. Again, nothing too crazy. It's pretty light on the shoulders today, and then just some overhead tricep extensions and some old school, just kind of handlebar push downs. So everything's feeling really good again. Pretty happy where things are at. And yeah, just gonna keep on grinding. So we'll do some posing practice, have a little post-workout, and then later on do some cardio. So Bo Alexander, Adapt Fitness, Dallas, Texas. Thank you for liking, watching, following, subscribing, loving, hating, all that stuff. Leave some comments if you have any questions, and we will see you on the next one.